Hi, and welcome to the Dixie Sun News at Noon. I'm Emma Van Lent.
And I'm Stephanie Dupont. Thanks for tuning in. The controversial firing and reinstatement of former professor Ken Peterson is now drawing national attention. Two professional teaching groups, the American Association of University Professors and the American Federation of Teachers, have spoken out in support of former Dixie State professor Ken Peterson over the terms of his last chance agreement. The American Association of University Professors released a letter addressed to President Biff Williams criticizing the last chance agreement as severe sanctions and requested the agreement be removed and Peterson reinstated in his position. The American Federation of Teachers also submitted an analysis of the last chance agreement, calling it retaliatory, as well as a huge overreach and the product of bad faith on the part of DSU. Dixie State University is celebrating the completion of the Trailblazer Stadium with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The celebration will be held during the halftime portion of the Chartway Classic kickoff game on Saturday. Renovations to the stadium have been made slowly since 2016, but it is now complete for the athletes and public to enjoy.
This year marks the 17th anniversary of 9/11, and Dixie State will be holding a memorial event in remembrance of that day. There will be a short memorial held at the Clock Tower on campus at 9 a.m. on September 11th. It's open to the public, and veterans and police officers have been invited to attend, and the service will include a 1-minute moment of silence for those who lost their lives that day. There are 3 new programs here at Dixie State. I decided to look into what many are calling DSU's 3 firsts. There are 3 new programs being offered here at Dixie State University this year. For those of you in the nursing department, you can now get a BSN nursing cohort. There's a new engineering degree, and for the very first time, DSU is offering a master's in accounting. There were 48 students accepted into the BSN nursing cohort this semester, and one of those students, Jessica Romo, a junior nursing major from Fontana, California, says she's most excited about the fact that on top of their weekly labs, they will also be doing simulation labs in which they can put some of the skills they have learned to use. This semester also marked the beginning of the very first master's degree to be offered by DSU, a degree that Pam Cantrell, the interim director of Curriculum and Graduate Studies, says she first heard a pitch for over a year ago and has been working on getting approved since last November.
We've got a small cohort right now. We've got about 22 students in our master's program. It's been interesting to work through some of the kinks, some of the hiccups that happen when you start new programs. So I think the new programs that will be coming on, which I believe there are some that are in the pipeline right now to be discussed, I think it'll create a more smooth and efficient way for them to be developed here on campus. I think it also sends a message to academia in general that we're no longer just a 4-year baccalaureate degree granting institution, but we are a master's level institution, and that we do understand the rigor and the requirements necessary to play in that sandbox, so to say.
For Dixie Sun News, I'm Emma Van Lent.
General education
Here at Dixie
courses
State,
at Dixie State are a requirement for those wanting to get a degree. But the question comes to mind, how are these courses different from other courses and why? Ariel Cabrera has more on the story.
Here at Dixie State University, general education courses are a must. But do professors treat their students differently in other courses? Let's see. General education courses can range anywhere from mathematics, history, English, science, and more. Professor Jesse Hicks was able to talk to me more about the subject.
Like, we're trying to get students to show up to class. In the gen ed classes, it's hard.
Professors all over campus are looking for ways to keep students involved no matter what kind of classes they are. History professor Kathleen Baroder had this to say on the story.
The active learning, active life is really what I think helps cement those ideas in students' minds.
Most students have all taken general education classes and know how they can be different.
There's general education is looked at as something that you have to do, whereas when you start doing your course classes, it's something that you're wanting to do.
Effort is not lacking on the side of the professors, trying to get students to get involved even in general education courses. For Dixie Sun News, I'm Ariel Cabrera.
To learn more about Dixie State University's view on general education, go to catalog.dixie.edu/programs general education.
Meet the Senators Breakfast took place earlier this morning. However, the flyers around campus stated the event would start at 8 a.m. and no senators or food were there until a little before 9. Brett Coleman, Vice President of DSUSA, confirmed that 8 a.m. was the intended start time and that the student senators were also in a meeting at 8. The time conflict turned away a few students as they were promised a free breakfast of cinnamon rolls and chocolate and were late to appear. Starving student cards are in their 9th year of supporting students and local businesses through discounts and free times. Reporter Monique Chavez has more on the story.
If you're looking for ways to get deals on your favorite activities and foods, the Starving Student Card might be right for you.
I think the Starving Student Card is really popular in here for the students because they have a lot of savings. We have a few of them that are saving in the bookstore, and they have some really good deals. My thing I say at the end is don't be afraid to take your date out with your Starving Student Card.
The cards are available in the campus store for $25.
I think the Starving Student Card is a great opportunity for students to save tons of money. It's worth more than what you pay for it. So.
The Red Rock Commons Shopping Center alone has 5 locations that are featured on the Starving Student Card.
I think the card has affected the business in a really positive way just because it brings in a lot of college students, and not only that, but they usually come in groups, and so a lot of them are using the coupon code together. For someone to come in and get a discount, it really helps. So it brings a lot of business and it helps the customer. I actually don't think a lot of DSU students know that we do 10% off with your student ID. So regardless with that, we do give students a discount anyway.
Reporting for Dixie Sun News, I'm Monique Chavez.
To learn more about how Starving Student Cards came to Southern Utah, go to dixiesunnews.com.
While it feels like school just started, it is almost time for the first tests and exams of the semester. For students looking for an edge up on these tests, I have some study advice.
Every student knows that the key to a successful semester is studying. Here are 5 study tips to help you excel in the coming semester.
My first tip is to rewrite your notes. When you are in classes, take notes in only one notebook. When you are done for the day, rewrite your notes in your subject-specific notebook. This way, you don't have to have more than one notebook in your backpack, and you can have easy-to-read notes when it comes time for quizzes and tests. The second tip is to schedule time for your online classes. When you are scheduling out your week, make sure to carve out specific time to work on online classes. This way, you don't have to worry about forgetting assignments or when to study. Tip 3 is about the environment you are in when you study. Make sure that if you do listen to music, that it doesn't have any words to sing along to. Listening to scores can be motivating and less distracting. If you find yourself lacking motivation to study, a great way to be inspired is to follow study blurs, short for study tumblers. They are full of more great study tips and ways to organize your notes. You can follow accounts on Instagram, Tumblr, or Pinterest. The final tip is to utilize the many resources on campus, such as the Tutoring Center, Trio, or even your professor's office hours, which are usually posted on Canvas or your class syllabus.
For Dixie Sun News, I'm Stephanie Dupar.
Great ways to study also include making a study group and utilizing any practice tests that are available.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe we should start a study group. Stephanie, what do you think?
I would love to be in a study group with you.
All right. On that note, we have a short break coming up. Stay tuned to learn more about what fun events are to attend this weekend and what our volleyball and football teams have been up to this week.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to our set here of Talking Point Live. We're just getting ready to shoot our show, but we thought we'd put out a little bit of a promotion so you know when this is going to be rebroadcast.
Right. You can find us at 9:30,
12:30,
4:30.
Sorry, did I step on you? I'm always stepping on
You are.
Tune in and watch me step on Jen Moore. On Talking
Or
Point Live.
attempt to, anyway.
Welcome back, Trailblazers.
Here we have our sports anchor Ashlyn to tell us about this week's football festivities and our very own Lauren Gamble, who won a special award for her volleyball performance in the last week's tournament.
Thank you, Stephanie. One of Dixie's own is the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Volleyball Defensive Player of the Week. Middle blocker Lauren Gamble was given the honor Monday for her performance in last weekend's tournament in the Burns Arena. Gamble helped lead her team to a 3-1 record last week, which included wins over Tarleton State University and career-high total blocks. Dixie State football suffered a 56-14 loss to Colorado State Pueblo at the Thunder Bowl on Saturday. The loss has made the team hungry for redemption as they play at home for the first time this season against Fort Lewis College Saturday at 6 p.m. Saturday's festivities begin at 4 p.m. with a free tailgate hosted by DSU Alumni Association, a ribbon cutting ceremony at halftime, and a screening of Remember the Titans on the field after the game.
All right, well, that'll be super exciting. What else do we have going on this week, Steph?
I don't know, I was thinking about something to do over the weekend. If you're looking for something to do over the weekend, well, Casablanca in Mesquite will be holding its Rib Fest tomorrow through Sunday, a giant rib cook-off between Chicago Barbecue, Austin's Texas Lightning Barbecue, and Texas Outlaws Barbecue. Admission is free, but the food costs may vary. And also, tomorrow is the first Friday of the month, and that means Street Fest is back in St. George. Street Fest takes place of the first Friday of every month from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Main Street in downtown St. George. This month's theme is the Wild Wild West, and there will be a live performance by the fabulous Honky Tonk Heroes. There will also be food, face painting, a photo booth, and line dancing with DSU dancers. Sounds like a great time to me.
I'm so excited. I think I'm going to go to that. What do you guys think?
I've always had a good time. I wouldn't miss it.
All right.
And that's a wrap for this week's edition of Dixie Sun News.
Catch us back here next week, same time, same place.
Thanks for watching and have a great week, Trailblazers.